questions I often get is how to sharpen a chisel or a plane iron as a beginner and get professional results. There are many tool sharpening videos out there, from using minimal equipment like sandpaper all the way to expensive stones and equipment. Sandpaper is an affordable method, yet it is very labor intensive. This is a method I used when I had little to no money. You can see me here using a honing guide and using 80 grit sandpaper to get a primary bevel on this chisel. On the upper end are machines that are water cooled like a Tormek. The cost is well over $1,000. In addition to your Tormek, you will also need whetstones and flattening plates in order to maintain the flatness of your stones, both the hand stones and your Tormek. So as you can see, that system can cost quite a bit. Once all told, with all the accessories that you need to sharpen with the Tormek, you could spend upwards of $1,500. A fantastic system, but it's a little pricey if you're a beginner, which is what we're going to talk about. Now, if you're interested in seeing how that system works, there's a very popular video by a fellow named Matt Esty, and he takes a very deep dive in a long form video on the geometry and purposes of using whetstones and a Tormek to sharpen the chisels. So it's worth your watch. In fact, I will link it here if you'd like to watch it. So speaking of geometry, let's take a moment and talk a little bit about the anatomy of a chisel. So I've taken and drawn out an exploded version of a chisel. So this would be the orientation of what we've got going on here. So the first thing that we need to talk about is the primary bevel, which is right here. And that is typically 25 degrees. And you can see when I turn the chisel here where it turns bright, that's the primary bevel here. Now the secondary bevel, which is a micro bevel, is 30 degrees. And you can see that as a little dark line right there. I can actually turn it like that to make it reflect light as well. And then also, and very importantly, is the back, which is where it is flat, and it's called lapping when we do that. And you can see on this chisel, I can get the light right here. It's very, very polished here at the tip. Now, that doesn't mean the whole thing needs to be. As you can see, you can still see machine marks from when the chisel was made, but the tip out here needs to be perfectly flat, and that process is called lapping. To get an idea of how these steps are created, I think it'd be helpful to see the process done by hand. I start by lapping the back of the chisel on some 600 grit wet dry paper. The paper taped down to the stone surface ensures I'm going to get a very flat back of my chisel. I then switch to 1000 grit paper and get a final polish on it. I set my honing guide so that I could achieve a 25-degree primary bevel. To produce the primary bevel, I start fairly aggressively with 80 grit sandpaper. I then move up in grit to 120 and then eventually 220. I know that it's finished when I can feel a little burr on the back. I then go back to the 1000 grit sandpaper and remove that small burr. In preparation for the micro bevel, I readjust my honing guide to produce a 30-degree bevel. On this ceramic whetstone, which I like because it never needs reflattening, I start with just a few strokes to put that micro bevel on there. And lastly, I take a few strokes on the leather strop to put a final polish on the chisel. So that's the process of hand sharpening a chisel with minimal amount of equipment. Now the equipment that I have here, the stone, the honing guide, the strop, and miscellaneous things probably cost me about $100. Now, all that process took about 40 minutes. So what I want to do is to show how I can sharpen a chisel in a fraction of that time using the Vevor 1x30 bench grinder. Now I have here a second half-inch chisel, and it is in pretty rough shape. You can see there's even some rust on there, and it is pretty chipped up. Either I dropped it on the floor or it was used for something it shouldn't have. So let's go over to the belt grinder and put a new bevel, primary bevel, and micro bevel, and lap the chisel all on the Vevor 1x30. So what I have here is a Vevor 1x30 belt grinder. I've been using it now for probably over a month, almost 2 months, and I'm really pleased with the quality of it, and it's just really well put together. Now I've attached it to my bench, which helped its stability quite a bit. It comes with a couple of belts and a batten, and I have the flat batten on here right now. Now it also comes with a small wheel, idler wheel here for different operations. So the way this operates is that it has a controller here, and we'll turn it on. Now it has a rheostat here where you can turn the RPM up. So if we'll get it started here, you can see it's a pretty smooth running machine. Now over here I've got it about 930 RPM right now. I like to work around 1,000, and the reason for that is that way it doesn't get too hot when you're working with the metal on there. But it will go up to 5,000 RPM. But as I said, we want to keep it at about 1,000 or so, 1,100. Now the other feature that it has is that here on this S button, you can press that for 3 seconds, and you see that little red light came on, and what that does is puts it into reverse. So we'll turn it on here. Now sometimes when you reverse it, the tension needs to be readjusted. I'm going to keep it going down, which is called leading edge grinding is what I'm going to do. Now the point of it reversing is that you can do trailing edge grinding, and we may do that when we put the micro bevel on there. So I'll go back over here and change it back to leading edge. So I've got it set up right now to sharpen chisels, and what I've done is I've tipped this flat batten back a little bit so that it's a little easier to hold the chisel on there, and this batten then is at the proper angle so that it is exactly 25 degrees. So what I did was I took a little piece of aluminum here and I cut it out so that it'd be 25 degrees like this. And see how that fits. Then the 30 will be when we want to put a micro bevel on it. You can see that's quite a bit different. So we're going to start putting a primary bevel back on this chisel that's been damaged. So one of the things I like to do is to take a marker and mark across the bevel, and that way we're going to know we're making progress. So I have a 180 grit belt on here right now. So we'll get it started up here. What I want to do is to put the chisel on there and move it back and forth. can see it's taking quite a bit off, and I dip it in the water occasionally to keep it cool. One of the important things here is that I keep this parallel to the thing, so I keep a good square edge on the end here. I can feel with my finger when it's going to getting too warm. That's when I take it and dip it in the water. That looks pretty good. I can feel a little burr on the back of it. So what we can do is advance the grit on here to a finer grit. So now I've got a 240 grit belt on there. Now I'm going to switch to a 600 grit belt. And again, we can put a marker on there so we can tell that we're actually taking some material off. And I can feel a nice little burr on the back. Now, 600 grit is more than enough to put a primary bevel on there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to lap the back of it. And to do that, we're going to start with this 600, and then we're going to progress up to about 1,000. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to set the chisel. I'm going to set the chisel on here and then touch it down like so. I don't want to lift the handle up this way. I want to make sure that I only touch the back end like so. So let's give it a shot. And I'm going to turn it down some too. You can see that it's starting to lap that back. And also move diagonally like this. You can see I put striations going on a diagonal that way, and then I can go this way. So that's about as good as we're going to get with 600. So let's move up to a finer grit. I'm going to switch this belt out for a, let's see, this one is 1200 grit. And we'll finish lapping the chisel here. And remember, I just set it on the edge here and then tip down. You can see that's really a nice polish on there. I can feel just a tiny little burr, and we will now turn that off. Now we'll reset our workspace batten here to 30 degrees. We need to do that with this little Allen wrench here. Get that set at 30. Tighten it up. All right, so we've got our workspace here all set up for 30 degrees. And remember, it has to be upside down like this is how it's measured. So we'll get it started. And we turn it down so we can just go at it very slowly here. So I'm going to try and reverse it. But it does not take very much to put that little bevel on there. You can see it on there. And I can feel a little burr on the back, so I'm going to go back and strop it just a little bit more here. Or lap it, I mean. There we go. Nice sharp chisel. So you can see the machine did a pretty nice job in pretty short order. A nice little micro bevel on there. And it's lapped nice and polished on the back. All in all, it's a pretty good chisel sharpening for probably about 3 minutes of work. So I'm pretty happy with the results that this little machine gave me. Now, the machine and the belts you could pick up for just a little over $200 in 2026 prices. One of the nice things about the little tool here is that as long as I keep it set up here with this 30-degree mark on there, as I'm using my tools, if I need it to be touched up, all I need to do is turn it on, touch it on there just a couple of seconds, lap it a little bit, and I've got a nice sharp chisel in just a fraction of a time, just a few seconds to do that. So it's nice to have this all set up and ready to go as I'm working. Now, one of the other nice things about this tool is that I'll be able to do a lot of other operations with it. For example, I'm in the process of making a marking knife, so this will be a really great tool to be able to grind out a knife or a lot of other things you would just actually need to shape or grind. So I'll leave a link in the description if you are interested in one of these. So as always, thanks for watching, and remember, if you're going to make it beautiful.